Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In this video I am going to be sharing my tips on how I am able to reduce my frizz on my weekly wash and goes. Now the first tip you can either do outside of the shower or in the shower. I prefer to do it in the shower, and that is to make sure that your hair is soaking wet when you are applying your products. Now the first tip you can either do outside of the shower or in the shower. I prefer to do it in the shower, and that is to make sure that your hair is soaking wet when you are applying your products. Now I started applying my products in the shower probably within the last year, and before that I would always finish my shower and put my hair up, and once I got out of the shower I would start applying my products then. But then I realized that when I did it like that, my hair would always dry up before I got to the second half of my hair. So I feel like if I'm doing in the shower, I can always just go back and re-wet it and really make sure that my sections are very, very wet. Now, if you prefer to apply your products out of the shower, that's completely fine. Just have a spray bottle on hand and just really make sure that the section you're working on is soaking wet, and that way when you apply your products, your hair is able to soak it up better and your hair is able to stay moisturized. Just have a spray bottle on hand and just really make sure that the section you're working on is soaking wet, and that way when you apply your products, your hair is able to soak it up better and your hair is able to stay moisturized. And when I say make sure your hair is wet, I mean like soaking, dripping wet, not a little damp, not a little sprinkle of water here and there. I mean like drenched in water. But you do have to be a little careful, because I do realize that if my hair is too wet, a lot of the product just kind of slips right out. So depending on your hair, make sure your hair is soaking wet, but not wet enough that the product is just gonna glide right off. So just really try and find that balance of very wet but not too wet. I mentioned this tip in one of my previous videos, how to reduce shrinkage, and that is to use the praying hands method when you are applying your products. The reason why I like doing the praying hands method versus just running your fingers through my hair is because I feel like when I do the praying hands method, I'm really smoothing down my hair, and I feel like whenever I just run my fingers through my hair when I'm applying my products, the curls kind of separate a little bit and it can get a little bit frizzy. So not only does the praying hands method smooth down my hair, but I feel like it really kind of clumps up the curls again, and it really helps to get that nice definition. Now, if you don't know what the praying hands method is, it's basically just take a section of your hair between your hands and kind of just pull down or pull forward in the praying hands form, I guess, I don't know. But I mean, considering you have curly hair and you really don't know how your hair is going to turn out, praying hands method kind of goes a long way, because you're like praying that your hair is going to turn out the way you want it to, because you know curly hair kind of has a mind of its own. So I feel like the praying hands method is a little bit of a no-brainer, and something that everyone with curly hair should do. But then again, I feel like a lot of people's hair actually, cooperates and doesn't act like a child, unlike mine. So not everyone needs to pray that their hair works out. My third way on how to reduce the frizz on your wash and goes is to either do finger coiling or the shingling method. If you don't know what the shingling method or finger coiling is, the shingling method is basically you just take your hair and you kind of just like separate the curls and you smooth down the shaft, and you just do that throughout all your curls, and that's pretty much what the shingling method is. And Finger coiling is taking individual curls and kind of wrapping them around your finger, and that'll really help define your hair. Obviously it won't help on dry hair, but when your hair is nice and wet, it really makes defined curls. Now, I personally don't do the shingling method or finger coiling very often because it just takes so long, and I don't have the patience to be waiting around to do that, got all my hair. But if you have the patience and if you have the time, I recommend doing it because the results are definitely worth it and you are going to love your curls. This tip I also mentioned in one of my previous videos on how to reduce shrinkage, and that is to not diffuse upwards. So if you have a diffuser, most likely what you do is you diffuse like this, and I feel like whenever I do that, since my hair is being blown upwards, I get a lot of frizz. So instead of doing that, what I like to do is I take my diffuser, I take some of my hair, and I literally just put it on the section of hair that I'm working on and diffuse it like that. Another reason why I prefer to diffuse more head on than upwards is because I feel like when I diffuse this way, it's just too much hair for all of that air to get through, and then I just feel like not all of my hair is getting dried. And also, as I'm pushing my hair upwards towards my scalp, I'm just re-wetting my roots, and then my roots just never get dry. And just doing it head on, this part of my hair never really touches my roots, so I'm able to evenly just dry everything, and it really cuts down on my drying time. I also feel like this saves my neck because for some reason whenever I would use to diffuse upwards, I would kind of diffuse like this. For some, like I would literally just like go to the side. You know, any regular person would just diffuse like this, but no, not me. I guess I didn't have any common sense and I had a lot of neck pain. And now I have common sense and no neck pain. So it's win-win. Now this next tip is for anyone that rather air dry than diffuse, and that is to just leave your hair alone when it is drying. I really had a tough time with this one because I would always just touch my hair in one shape or form, and I realized that when I did that, I'm really just frizzing up my hair before it even dries up, and then it dries frizzy. So what I like to do when I don't want to diffuse and I don't want to touch my hair is I'll just take my microfiber towel and I'll just put it up, and then there's literally no way that I can touch my hair. If you don't have a microfiber towel, that's fine. You can just use a cotton t-shirt, but please do not use a regular towel, because if this was a video on how to maximize frizz, using a regular towel would be the first thing on the list. So either use an old cotton t-shirt or a microfiber towel. Now, if you guys want to know how I am able to get a little bit more volume in my hair, then tune in to next week's video. If you guys want to learn more about how I am able to minimize shrinkage, how I like to take care of my hair in the summer, or any of those types of things, then make sure that you watch any of the videos on your screen right now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!